Welcome to another episode of Lucas and Moe Versus The World. It's your boy Lucas and it's your boy Moe Crosby. This is our 5th episode. Thank you very much for listening. Welcome again.
Welcome back, knuckleheads. Today on Lucas and Moe Versus The World, we're going to discuss the Wrinkle in Time trailer. Universal is the go-to studio now for animation. Gambit finally going into production, but first we're going to start off the big topic: best cinematic universes ranked.
Ooh.
So, Mo, I'm gonna let you go first on this one, my brother.
Man.
You sound like you're struggling there, Mo.
Yeah, man. Okay. In terms of the bigger ones, I'm gonna go Marvel Cinematic Universe number 1, obviously, because they've been able to sustain themselves for 10 plus years, 17 straight movies. We get 3 more next year. So I say Marvel Cinematic Universe number 1. You know, They've been able to get people to come back again and again and watch them. Despicable Me is a nice little animated universe that I think I'm going to put up there as number 2. I mean, Despicable Me 2, Minions, and 3. I think Minions 2 comes out next year, right, Lucas?
It does.
Exactly. So that's pretty good because I feel like they're competing with Disney in terms of their Pixar things. I don't think they have a Pixar cinematic universe. So Universal is able to do that for me with their cinematic universe. I don't know if I can throw DC in there yet because they're still kind of struggling with their footing.
Hey, it's the best rank. So you know what? Let's give
you go.
Maybe down the top 5, and I'll do my top 5 so you can understand where I'm coming with cinematic universes. That'll help you out.
All right, thanks.
And I'll go 5 to 1 because
Okay.
it's better for me to do 5 to 1. Even though you threw me a wrinkle with the Despicable Me universe.
It is a universe.
I had not counted on. Yeah, it is a universe, but you threw me off, but I'm still not going to put that on my list.
Whoa.
I'm not going to put that on my list. At number 5, I would come in at the DCEU. And it's just starting off. It's at its infancy right now.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it too high because it's just not there yet.
Okay.
Number 4. This is where I'm going to go a little off because I don't know if people consider this a cinematic universe. I do consider it a cinematic universe, and that would be James Bond. And so James Bond would be number 4 for me in a cinematic universe.
It is the longest running.
I give it the credence of being a cinematic universe because of the volume of it.
Yes. Okay. I can see that.
Now number 3, X-Men universe.
Yes.
X-Men.
Yes. X-Men was going to be there for me too.
Matter of fact, no, scratch that. That. I fucked up. It happens, people. It literally happens. I really did fuck up. Scratch James Bond all up together out of it and drop Fox Cinematic Universe to number 4.
Wow.
I just thought of something else. So I'll drop Fox Cinematic Universe to number 4.
I think I know what it is. Go for it.
Number 3 is Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Really?
Pretty cool. I mean, it's a bunch of average movies made to be spectacular. So,
but they've been consistent with.
They've been consistent.
Okay.
But just listen to my last 2. The number 2 universe, the Conjuring universe, right now. It's number 2. As I said, with Marvel's universe, how they constantly crank out films, but they're kind of average to me at best.
Right.
The Conjuring universe is not that. They had one slight hiccup, but 3 awesome movies with that one minor hiccup, plus the way Annabelle Creation brought that entire universe together could be one of the dopest ways they've done it ever in cinematic universes and bringing shit together like that.
Okay.
And number 1 is the Harry Potter.
Really?
It's easily number 1 of the best cinematic universe, hands down.
Oh.
Her film it's not even close. Not even remotely close. The point that we get another Fantastic Beast next year, like, it's going to even further expand the Harry Potter universe because one of the main villains is the number 2 villain wizard of all time, right behind Voldemort. It's going to be dope. Already know it's going to be dope because the first Fantastic Beasts was great.
It was pretty.
Like Harry Potter cinematic universe is hands down number 1.
Right.
No one is coming close to it.
All right, you're right. All right, so let me go back and do mine real quick. So I had Marvel up there as number 1. I had Despicable Me up there as number 2. Then I think I'm gonna do which is weird because I feel like Despicable Me shouldn't be there because it's still like a really, really young universe. But I'm going to do Annabelle Creation at number 3 and Star Wars instead of Harry Potter at number 4. And then I'm gonna do the DCEU. And I think I didn't put Harry Potter in there because I wasn't thinking in terms of, okay, like the continuations of movies, but you put that in my mind. But Star Wars, again, because I think Star Wars, for almost the same reason you did James Bond, is because we got the first 3 episodes 4 through 6, and then, you know, George Lucas went back on and did episodes 1, 2, 3. You know, those for whatever, however you don't like them, but then they had the little shows on Cartoon Network, the Clone Wars. I think those really, really seamlessly tied up the episodes.
I don't count any of those. I don't count anything that's not television. That's television.
But
anything that's not film, I do not count.
But that ties
Wars
up.
Does have films that will branch it off. I mean, Rogue One clearly branches it off into an area of cinematic universe, along with the Han Solo movie that's about to come out.
Yes. So, and I think
Star Wars isn't up there for me.
Okay, but I mean, again, I think Star Wars and maybe Harry Potter on a level. I think if you wanted to ask me, they're on a level. They're on almost the same level, but just because Harry Potter is very new, I think I would edge.
You said Harry Potter do?
Compared to Star Wars, I would edge Harry Potter over it. You know, it's funny. We are not going to talk about this, but think about the Star Trek cinematic universe. I mean, they've had consistent, you know, like, but then again, you said you can't add TV shows and movies into a cinematic universe because unlike, say, the DC cinematic universe, they're not adding, you know, they've decided, okay, Arrowverse is on one side, the Fox versus on one side, and then we have our, you know, main movie universe. Marvel, the reason I have them up there is because even though they haven't really said it, their movie verse and their TV verse kind of sort of collide.
Well, I mean, they've said it. Marvel said all of their stuff is connected. All of it is the same exact universe.
Yeah, so
I mean, if I was to count Marvel's TV stuff, it would drop them further for me.
I will put it up there because of the TV stuff, not necessarily because of the production of the TV stuff, just because, you know, you have, you know, the ability to, if you want,
I can't give it to you just because you do it.
If you wanted to, no.
That's almost saying I'm gonna give you an A for effort. Nah, you don't get an A for effort. you literally you have to perform. So like when I look at Marvel's universe, and the reason it's number 3, to me it's simple. Like the Conjuring universe, it's young. It's only 4 films so far.
True.
2 more coming out next year. But it is out of those 4 films, 3 have been great.
Oh yeah.
Out of those 4 films, 3 have been great.
Oh yeah.
3 have been great. I can't say that on Marvel. Marvel is 14 films in, and if I give them two great movies and maybe 2 good movies, and they worse than Nas was on the Takeover joint by Jay-Z. And 1 hot movie every 10-year average. I can't give them that.
Wow.
and it's weird. People count, and I know people are going to think weird about this. And I think they think weird about this because of the way Harry Potter was introduced to them. Technically, Harry Potter would be the start of the cinematic universe for lots of people. Because the first Harry Potter came out in 2001.
Yes.
And you always knew that these movies were connected. There was no doubt about it.
Yes.
And it had a central character.
Yes.
I would say that it's a chance that other cinematic universes have taken from Harry Potter's lead, and Marvel having Nick Fury in every movie.
Right.
The character that connects the films, and that's what the Harry Potter universe did. And it's done it like critically better than any universe possible. Like a bad Harry Potter movie is a great movie in anybody else's cinematic universe.
Has there been a bad Harry Potter movie though?
Yes.
What, the sixth one?
Yeah, you got to go down the line. No, the sixth is when they rebounded. I want to say it was the fourth movie. Not bad, but it was the series was starting to retread itself.
You mean the one where they introduced his uncle, right? The Prisoner of Azkaban, or was it the Order of the Phoenix? That's the fifth.
No, Prisoner of Azkaban to me is where it may be the Prisoner of Azkaban. I believe is the one that I thought wasn't as good as the other Harry Potter film.
Man, I gotta watch. And you know what? Just because Fantastic Beasts is what it is, I think it's also easier because it's not like 20 movies in. You can watch all of them, all of them together before you watch, the next movie. Again, it's not 20 movies in, and just because they're really, really good.
The Fantastic Beasts series.
Yeah, before the Fantastic Beasts, before the next one, I think you can go back and watch it because they reference things in the Fantastic Beasts that they kind of touched on in Harry Potter, which is really, really cool.
Well, yeah. Oh, they give you lots of stuff of that nature in the Fantastic Beasts.
Yes. I mean, you know what? I don't know. I like my list. I think the purpose of this is you have your list, I have my list, and I'm not really gonna change it. But I like my list, and I think you put an idea in my head with the Harry Potter cinematic universe. I mean, the Conjuring universe. I think we both agree on that. You have yours higher than mine, but yeah, I'm pretty much.
One of us said Star Trek, and it's weird.
I know. Which is I wanted to say Star Trek, but then I think for some reason I think Star Trek is too much of a TV thing to be, to be its own cinematic universe. Even though there are Star Trek movies, but it's too much of a TV thing.
That is the original cinematic universe. The way they've always bounced between TVs and movies is amazing,
which is awesome. But then again, if you throw in Star Trek, you'd have to. I think Star Trek is one of the tricky ones where you kind of have to talk about the TV side of things too, because again, the TV side really, really connects everything. I mean, let's look at this first. Okay, let's look at the last three movies, right? The last three of them. That's something Star Trek fans know as the Kelvin universe, and if you go back into the original Star Trek shows, you hear of the Kelvin universe. So it's okay that they did this but then it's more or less talked about in the shows because the Wrath of Khan is a movie that they kind of retreaded to do Into Darkness.
It is same movie,
pretty much. So it's like I think there's too much of Star Trek for me personally to be like this is a cinematic universe, because you're right, it is the original, because I think it started off with a movie and then went into shows, or started off with shows and went into TV, went into a movie. No, started off with a show,
off the shows and then went into
the first movies. Yeah. That's pretty interesting. I really would like to know what everyone's thoughts is when with their top cinematic universes. Like, I know for a fact that that's going to be a hot debate if ever, wherever that one goes to. I know it's going to be a really, really hot debate. But the fact that I threw up a Universal in there, I want to just go ahead and talk about Universal real quick. I talked about their animated universe. Illumination Studios is really, really killing it right now. So you said, you threw out the topic name out there. You said, are they the go-to animation studio? I know your answer is yes, but I want to know why.
Right now, Universal is like, animation, Universal has taken over everything. Like, I would say especially pertaining to budget versus box office, which is the biggest thing. I mean, right now you got like Coco out for Disney right now, and Coco costs what a normal Pixar film costs, which is around 175 to 200 million to make.
Mm-hmm.
It may cap out at like 500 million. That would That would be like a lower box office total for what Universal normally pulls in with their cartoon movies. Universal has just been consistent, and I think it caught everyone off guard, and that was the good part, especially from the first Despicable Me, who was like, okay, this nice little studios coming out with these type of films, and they just hit you with the rest of those. Then you've had To Your Lives of Pets, Sing. Like you've had a couple of pretty dope cartoons come out of this universe, and well, not this universe, well, this studio, and they've made a killing. Like Sing made over $600 million off of a $75 million budget.
That's crazy.
Most Pixar movies make that off of a budget twice the size of that 75. That's crazy. And then Despicable Me is the only multi-billion-dollar cartoon franchise. Like, I mean, Despicable Me 2 made like 970 mil, and then Minions made over $1 billion. The last Despicable Me made over $1 billion. It's like, dude, this is her film is the highest grossing universe we got right now. Like, they're constantly hitting with this universe, and I think Universal is taking over for what Disney would like to do. They found a formula of appealing to the younger moviegoers with these cute characters that also hooks adults.
True.
And Disney and Pixar, I would say, over the last 3-4 years, have been struggling to find that same niche to get into. And instead, we're getting a lot of sequels instead of a lot of original material, even though it is slick the way Disney separates Disney animation from Pixar animation.
Right.
So it could throw some people for a loop to realize which is which. Even though Disney animation, I would say, besides Frozen and Wreck-It Ralph, they haven't really had many hits come from Disney animation. And right now, Universal has taken over. Because again, Sing, $640 million. We got Secret Lives of Pets did $875 million, along with the $1 billion franchise that is Despicable Me.
Okay. So I'll ask you a question here, though. So if you say the go-to, right, does that mean like awards? Because Disney Pixar is still like, when you do an award season, they're the ones who typically, capture all the animated awards, for during the award season. So is that a part of like the go-to, or you just don't look at that because awards to you is just like, okay, you did something, here you go, but you're not winning the race. Is that how you look at that? Because I mean,
but to me, the go-to means box office.
Okay. So
like awards, the go-to is what is the audience flocking to? Okay. And they are flocking to these Universal films right now.
No lie, because I wouldn't even lie to you. And I'll say this, like you said, they are appealing to young, the younger generation, but they're also touching adults. Let's bring up Sing for just a very simple second. I saw that with my friend and her, young ones, and I was in there and I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is really good. I didn't think it was going to be anything spectacular. And then I went in and then I saw Despicable Me. I've seen all 4 of them, because it's been 3 Despicable Me movies and then Minions. And I would say this about the Minions, even though they're cute as fuck. I think during Halloween season, the Minions, no matter what age group, everyone wants to dress up as a Minion, which is just out of this world amazing. Like, so somehow they've managed to, you're right, they've managed to touch everybody, and again, I go back to the award season and I look at it like, like Disney, Pixar, Disney, they racking up on awards, while Universal out there racking up in the money, like they swimming in it. So I guess, you do have a point. If you look at the animated movies that came out this year, of the best ones, the highest grossing one was Despicable Me 3. So I will concede that Universal is the go-to right now in terms of box office. So yeah,
definitely for definitely right now, by the end of this year, Coco and Cars 2 Cars 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Total box office won't match Despicable Me.
that is.
You can add both of them
That is
together,
crazy.
and they're not going to add.
Because you remember
And
when
worse
Cars
yet,
came
if you
out.
combine both of their budgets together, that's well over $300 million. Despicable Me 3 costs $80 million to make.
That's crazy, because if you go back to when Cars came out, the first one, even maybe the second one, it's so crazy to think that, you know, we're in our third movie and we still can't like either match up or beat, you know, what you did previously. It's kind of weird. It's very, very weird to me. Cars 3 came out to very lackluster reviews.
Box office and reviews.
Yeah, it's like it came and went. You feel me? Like
Cars
Coco.
3 is the only Pixar movie I haven't seen.
That's amazing. Like, to me, Coco came out, and I think the only reason it made news is because Justice League came out and everyone wanted to say, oh, look, this movie's beating Justice League. Because after last weekend, I really haven't heard much about Coco this weekend. So
like Coco right now, after 2 weeks in total, it's like at 280 worldwide. If any other film with the size budget that Coco has made that much money at this point in time, it would be considered a huge failure.
Hey,
huge failure. You can't make that much in your film cost the amount of money that it made. Like, but again, they're trying to rebound off of Cars because Cars cost $175 and it made $384.
I can't believe that.
That's horrible.
That's horrible. You said $175 to $384. That's about half. Yeah, nah.
In other words, Cars 3, not counting its merchandising, did not make a profit for Disney as a film.
Interesting.
It literally flopped as a film. But you don't hear that. Coco may top out at around $400 million. So again, if you combine both of their box offices together, it would still be about $300 million behind Despicable Me.
Behind one movie.
And that's crazy.
One movie.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. And then, so this is now why, according to you, Illumination Studios, Universal, is, you know, their little universe they're creating, especially with Despicable Me, because they're dropping a fifth one next year. I think it is why it deserved to be in that running for top cinematic universes, because it came out and it hasn't slowed down. It's like you're putting out good product with consistent, and you're still doing consistent numbers. Like it's yeah.
Oh, dude, they're killing it. They're absolutely killing it. And they've had Illumination, which is the division of Universal that does these films.
Yes.
Haven't had mishaps happen. But their mishaps don't tend to be too bad because they don't tend to spend too much money on them.
Yes.
So you'll get a movie like Hop that came out. It made $184 million. Wasn't really received well, but it only cost them $60 million to make.
Right.
Like, or the Dr. Seuss one that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not a huge hit, but it's still $70 million budget, and it made what Cars made off of a $70 million budget. That's why it's not a huge hit. That's showing you exactly the type of films that they're putting out. They're like, we're not going to spend a lot of money on these films. Like Secret Lives of Pets 2, it's most likely going to do $1 billion.
Oh yeah,
because what the first one did. If they come around and have $2 billion franchises,
I think we can officially say
they pass any expectations of anything. Because Pixar right now, I think, and they currently have two. Toy Story 3 made $1 billion, and
Frozen,
Finding Dory made $1 billion.
Oh wait, Frozen is Disney.
Pixar has been doing this.
Yeah.
But Pixar has been doing this for 15 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
Like matter of fact, over 20 years. I'm sorry, but they have a hell of a jump on Illumination's entertainment. But
yeah,
it's like I think they're taking up. Universal is picking up where DreamWorks Animation left off.
Yes, because
when DreamWorks had Shrek and they were killing it with Shrek, they made the mistake of never branching out past Shrek, and that's why they fell apart.
Yes,
and Universal said that's not going to happen with us. We can give you the Despicable Me movies. We could branch off, give you the Minion movies. We could branch off, give you the Sing movie. We could branch off, give you Secret Lives of Pets. It's like they're finding other films to put into their arsenal to take on the cartoon conglomerate that is Disney.
Right. Feel you.
Right now, the last 5 years or so, they've been winning.
And I can see why. I mean, again, you're putting out consistently really, really good movies and you're hitting numbers that, man, I am surprised. I will not lie to you. When I reviewed the numbers for Illumination and Universal's animated stuff, I was like, this is crazy, because again, like you said, if you add Pixar's jump or Pixar's leap ahead of them, it's unfathomable right now that they should be, going toe to toe with Pixar. Like, you should just, off your name, Pixar, just drop $1 billion on every movie you release. But it's so crazy that they're struggling. They're really struggling. That's not a concept that I really think I'm kind of like cool
hey, to
with
put it on the perspective, Frozen is the biggest animated hit of all time right now.
Yes.
In terms of box office.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is the Minions. That tells you all you need to know.
Right.
And it's not like it's like Frozen's at 1.2, the Minions was at 1.1. Like, that should tell you everything you need to know about where Universal is.
Right. All right, man. That's pretty cool. What we got next? What we talking about next?
Oh, this is a good question here.
Right.
Gambit going into production.
Finally.
Now, as a kid, I remember Gambit, the card throwing Cajun from the cartoon series, because I did not read comic books. Yes. That's all I know is from the cartoon series. This movie production has been troublesome, to say the least, with the delays and everything. But now that we're finally about to go into production with it, what should we expect from Gambit?
Look, man. I mean, the only bad thing I have right now, the only concern I have right now is Channing Tatum. But I expect fun. Because, again, I expect it to be a better heist movie than Ant-Man was. I expect it to be a heist movie. Because Gambit, again, is not just a mutant. He's a thieving mutant. So you need to explore that part of his side. If you're going to bring him into the X-Men world, you need to explore, if you're going to do an origin, you need to explore Gambit as a thief in, the swamps of Louisiana, and you got to explore that and come up to it. So I expect it to be fun. I expect it to be kind of fast. I expect them not to be too Deadpool, but I expect them to go, really, really close to what Deadpool did, but, still keep Gambit, like not juvenile fun, but keep him fun. You feel me? Like, again, the only red flag is Channing Tatum. But I think after seeing Kingsman 2, he was in there for like maybe 5 minutes. I think Channing Tatum could do it. I think he could do it. But yeah, that's what I'm expecting from Gambit. And it's funny, right? We have friends that would sit down and say, "Oh, this movie's gonna fail. Why are they even doing this?" And they refuse to understand that when you watch the 90s X-Men cartoons, there was 2 characters in there that people loved. Again, when I say people, it doesn't necessarily have to mean card-carrying members of the comic book readers community or the comic book club.
It is not. You're right, Mo.
When I say people, I mean Lucas, my brother. Everyone either wanted.
I fucking loved Gambit.
Yes, everyone either wanted to be Gambit or not Cyclops, Wolverine. Maybe Cyclops third. But it was one of those 2, and because Gambit was so cool.
You want to be Jubilee before you be Cyclops.
Because
you might want to be Cyclops, yo.
Do you know, like, my brother would, whenever he saw cards growing up, he would pick them up and just start. Yeah, it was lit like that. Everyone kind of wanted to be Gambit or Wolverine. So yeah, so when I say, so the reason this movie, for some reason, this movie is just happening to, now. This thing should have happened a long time. Like, I feel like, in my opinion, you did the first Wolverine movie, and I think the reason they didn't do a Gambit movie after the first Wolverine movie was because of the way that first movie hit, and the fact that the Gambit in that movie was kind of lame. Feel bad for Taylor. Feel bad for Taylor Kittredge.
He will never have a solid career. He's bombed in every role he's had so far.
I feel really bad for him. But no, Gambit should have happened a minute ago. But now I think with Deadpool and Logan, you kind of could throw Gambit in between them, where you keep Gambit fun enough to where it's not juvenile fun, but serious enough to where it's not, like Logan serious. So Gambit is a middle. Is the most middle movie you can get. If you want to go R rating, you can do that and still have Gambit sit in the middle of Deadpool and Logan. What about you? What do you think?
I'm not worried about Channing Tatum. I've heard you say it repeatedly. if anything gives me faith, it's him.
Really?
I mean, and it's because I'm making sure I say his name right, and I'm gonna fuck it up, people, because I fuck up people's names. That's what I do. Gore Verbinski. I'm not saying his name right.
Oh no, not you talking about Gore
director?
Verbinski? Oh, Gore Verbinski. Yeah.
Yes. He's my biggest red flag for this production because
really
of the Pirates movies. And it kind of makes me wonder, even though from a cinematic point of view, I can understand why you would hire him to do the film. I'm a little worried because I don't think he's actually a good director.
Okay.
Terrified from where this could go, especially after Cure for Wellness. That's when I felt, okay, I could give him a chance. He's out of this Pirates universe. Maybe he'll come up with something great. And he came up with a shittiest, longest horror movie supposedly ever made. And it made me drop a little faith in him being able to direct Gambit. But with Channing Tatum also being the producer on it, and Channing Tatum is extremely talented, I think they can knock this out the park. And I do believe it's going to have a Deadpool tone to it, while not being the body mouth of a film that Deadpool is.
Yeah. Because I feel like you need to have that tone.
Silly. Not the overly silly parts of Deadpool, but the more serious of Deadpool. That's what I'm expecting from Gambit. Wow. So I'm super excited. This is one of the few films I'm excited for. One, I think Channing Tatum is a really good director, really good actor. I think that this role was kind of tailor-made for someone of his skill set. He can play serious and he can do the comedy portion pretty good. It's the perfect mix for him. And even after his small role in The Kingsman, after they had to change his role in The Kingsman because they delayed filming, his small role in The Kingsman told me enough about him possibly playing Gambit from the moment he meets them in the Statement's headquarters.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I can see the Gambit part of him now. So I have hopes for this production. Plus, Fox has been on a killing spree with their movies as of late.
Yes.
So I am going to throw faith behind them knowing exactly where they want this to go. Between this, New Mutants, Deadpool,
2,
Logan, all those movies, I have faith that they know exactly what they want to do, and it is not to appeal to the community. That's what I'm starting. Because I'm not gonna, because I don't want to constantly say you little fucks. So I'm gonna say the community. Just know when I say the community, I mean you.
I know.
Yeah,
fucks. I already know who you're talking about.
But no, to the community.
This is not. This is just like, I'll say maybe the Wolverine movie and maybe Logan and Deadpool. Yeah, even Deadpool. I think this is a movie that Fox has said, look, this is out there for us. You know, I think with this, the New Mutants and Deadpool and Logan, like you said, with the exception of the actual X-Men movies, I think New Mutants and they have the X-Men movies. They're like, okay, those are gonna be our regular, comic book movies. But everything else, like if you want to do these solo movies, these are gonna be our out of the box kind of like, we're not going to follow these comic book patterns and comic book movies, because I think Gambit is one of the ones. Like, I don't know what Edgar Wright had in store for Ant-Man. I think he would have been great for Gambit if they got him. But if you follow a certain direction, which is Gambit is a thief, so you have to play that up. You have to show that a lot. If you can do that, he's a thief first and a mutant second. I think you have a hit on your hands. And like I said, I did have a feeling about Channing Tatum, but after, like I've said to you, after seeing the 5 minutes he was in Kingsman, and I was like, yo, this is cool. He can do this. I mean,
and then Gore Verbinski. I mean, I'm not going to say his name right.
Gore Verbinski.
Gore Verbinski. I'm never going to say his name right.
Yeah.
Playing up the thief angle is what he did great in the Pirates movies.
Yes.
That's like one of the way he directed him as he was stealing was amazing. So I think if you put him in a situation where they say we want a heist film in the same style of the Pirates films, then this could work. Because again, Louisiana is a rich neighborhood, a rich community to pull from visually. It could really be great, and that's some of the things he does well.
Mm-hmm. So I can see how this is gonna work. Like first of all, I'm excited for this because Gambit. Again, this was like, I think the only reason I wear overcoats now is because Gambit used to wear overcoat and he looked super cool wearing one.
I'm gonna let that slide. I'm gonna let that slide.
What? I would unscrew the broom from the head and wear a coat.
Yeah. God damn it, Mo.
All right, I'll stop talking now. Let's we can move on to the next topic. All right. Last we have for you, what's this thing called? Wrinkle in Time. A Wrinkle in Time, a Disney movie from a book. Which in my opinion is competing with next year's Ready Player One. But A Wrinkle in Time is dropping, next year, and they've dropped 2 trailers or a teaser, and they've dropped a full trailer. So we're going to sit here and review the trailer for you. But I would let Lucas go first. What did you think of the trailer? Because I'm not going to lie to you. I watched the trailer and I was like, what? What did you think?
The trailer's weird. The trailer is very weird, especially for your first introduction into this type of film. I seen the original Wrinkle in Time, or I'm not going to say the original. I seen the last Wrinkle in Time, which came out, I think, in 2003. I was interested to see how they were going to approach this film. The trailer is a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot of shit going on in this fucking trailer. It pinpoints absolutely nothing for you, which I normally find to be great in trailers when they don't pinpoint things for you. Because when things are pinpointed, story elements leak out that shouldn't. Mm-hmm. This was one of the few times where I felt, wow, you tried too hard for me not to know what the fuck was going on, for me to be overly interested in the movie. So if I was someone like Mo coming in, not knowing anything about A Wrinkle in Time, and I saw that trailer, man, I would get what's the space movie that came out this summer?
Oh no, this summer?
No.
Yeah, space
movie. Some 1,000 cities. The big budget.
Valerian. Oh, that was a fucking fail.
That's what I felt when I watched the Wrinkle in Time trailer. And I said, oh man, why did they go this angle to it? So hope that this being just a teaser, that they fucked up. Because that was a fucking
full trailer. It was not a teaser, because this was a full blown.
I'm going to call this a teaser, bro.
Nah, you're giving it a pass.
You can't call it a full trailer when you're fucking not explaining much to me. This is a teaser trailer.
Actually, you know what?
It's an extended cut.
Extended cut of a teaser? No. I did get that, she explained the thing about the ant moving from one side of a hand to the other because they folded time. And she's like, no, we didn't fold it, we wrinkled it. I'm like, oh, okay. That's cool.
It's going to be a mixture of a lot of sci-fi movies with Inception. Or some other shit.
If they don't fix the next couple of trailers before this movie comes out, I mean, again, it's a Disney movie, so I don't see how this is gonna, fail in the box office in the opening. But if they don't fix it, hold
Disney
on.
don't necessarily do great at live action films that are not connected.
Okay.
That are not connected to old cartoons.
Okay.
Beauty and the Beast was connected to an old cartoon.
Jesus Christ.
This is close. This is as close to an original production
as Disney
of a live action film that Disney has done in a while.
Yes. And
I mean, I have hope. The cast is amazing.
Mindy Kaling, to the cast. Chris Pine has finally found a stride, especially this year. He found a stride with Wonder Woman.
Fucking Oprah's in this movie. Man, I'm gonna give it a shot because Oprah's in it. I'm gonna give it a shot because Oprah's in it. Not because of my blackness, just because Oprah is one of the most underrated actresses.
She really
of
is.
Our time.
She really is. So let me ask you this question real quick. If the movie does come out and it feels very much like this trailer, where it's like, how upset would you be?
You in trouble. Disney's in trouble. Here's the weird part, though. Anyone who's ever heard, seen, read the books, or saw the original movie, you know it's confusing at times. Like, the first movie was a television movie that was, I think, damn near 4 hours long. Oh, I kind of understand this. So I don't know how you're going to grab me. In 2 hours, I don't know how you can grab me. But again, the cast is good enough. The director supposedly is good enough.
It's Ava, right?
She turned down. Yeah, she turned down Black Panther to do this.
I don't think she turned down Black Panther. I thought what she was looking for Black Panther kind of like. Didn't she like
control?
Yeah, she wanted.
Basically, she had no control over the way Black Panther was going to be done because they wanted it shot a certain way, to look a certain way, and to feel a certain way.
Yes.
So she said it wasn't freedom. That's not what directors do. And Disney, to keep her happy, attached her to this project because this was a project where she had that freedom, the filmmaker, to do things around an awesome story. Which, again, this film does not have a huge budget. It's $100 million. So
yeah, it's not.
I know people think it's not huge of a budget. It's a March release. So, again, it is going against Ready Player One.
That's
a lot of other films coming out in this time frame. Pacific Rim 2.
This is
counter programming to all of those.
Yes.
If this and Ready Player One opened up at the same time, it would be great for them because this is made to appeal to girls.
Yes.
Ready Player One is made to appeal to boys. It's a perfect split for them. I'm going to hold out the best. I'm going to say Disney, Ava, you better drop another motherfucking trailer because this bullshit you dropped here fucking confused me. No. And I'm not here for this. I'm not here for none of this. So I'm not here for none of it.
Let me not lie to you. Let me not lie to you. I saw it twice. I saw the first one, and then like just because we're doing the show, I was like, oh crap, now I got to see it again because to be honest, after I saw it the first time, I was like, what the fuck? And I saw it again, and I was still like, huh? Because it's just. It's one thing to have a trailer kind of show you story elements that would kind of tie it up into the trailer. This just jumped from scene to scene to scene to scene to scene. This was not like go back and watch the San Diego Comic-Con Ready Player One trailer. You understood things. You understood where even if it was just the beginning part of it, and then you got the spectacle, with graphics and all of that good stuff. But you understood it. This just had me like
that's exactly my point, Mo. This movie, this fucking trailer. I don't know what they were thinking with this trailer.
Yeah,
but
I think on this trailer they just wanted to catch, again, like you said, catch the girls. It's like, oh, let's this is our main hero, so you have to push her in as much scenes as possible, even if the scenes don't make sense. So she was in your face in the beginning. She was in your face in the middle.
I'm confused if Oprah's the wizard or is she an imaginary ghost. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it was irritating. That's all I know. But I have faith. I'm holding out faith.
Okay, I guess.
Hold out faith.
I guess I am.
Not in Disney, but in the director, in the cast. I'm holding out faith.
Okay.
That you fuckers can clear this shit up.
Yeah, all I'm saying is Ava, like Lucas said, Ava Disney, you have 2 more trailers to like really, really sell it. I think they can pull it. I think they can pull it off in 2 more trailers, and then when they start doing like a lot of TV spots, I think. Okay, let's just wait. We'll just wait till next year.
That's all you can say, right?
We'll just wait. Yeah, that's the show. Thank you guys for listening. Down in the comments, let us know. Again, the first topic we had was, the best cinematic universe. Let us know what you think the best cinematic universe is. Lucas has his list. I have my list. We want to know what yours is. So drop a comment in the comment section below. Let us know if you saw the Wrinkle in Time trailer. Let us know what you thought about it. If you thought it was confusing, like I said, Lucas said, yo, let's just know what you thought about that. Gambit movie, are you excited or not? I'm excited. I mean, Gambit was one of my favorite characters in X-Men lore. Again, when I say X-Men lore, because I didn't read a lot of X-Men comic books growing up, I will admit to that. So I watched the TV show and I was like, yo, Gambit is the dude. Let me know if you are excited for Gambit. And yeah, just let us know what you think about the show in general. If you like our show, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, share it. Yeah, tell your friends. Until next time, it's been your boy Mo Crosby, and it's been your boy Lucas with Lucas and Moe versus the World. Thank you for listening, and as always, we're out.